life, why would it be important for someone listening, right? As a matter of fact, maybe they're struggling in life right now. Their relationship with a partner isn't working. Their relationship with money isn't working. Heck, their body is constantly in stress and pain. Why is returning to the heart such an important conversation to have?
Hmm. Well, I always have a lot of benefit from trying to understand the way the universe really is, the way it really works, the laws, the law structure of reality. And in terms of like the evolution of consciousness, which is a subject of great interest to me, we can kind of put it into three camps if we had to, in terms of how consciousness evolves. And that would be like simple consciousness of the animal or insects. There's then self-consciousness of human beings, at least on this planet exclusively. And then the third camp is what we call cosmic consciousness, which is where you go beyond the personal identity and realize I'm actually a universal self, or I actually belong to the whole universe. And returning to the heart is what shifts you from that second phase of consciousness, self-consciousness, which we call ego,
Hmm.
being obsessed with myself, my story, my needs. That's what's important to me. That's where all suffering exists, ironically, right? It actually doesn't exist in simple consciousness in the animal kingdom, because animals don't have that self-referencing kind of mechanism in the mind where they can think about themselves the way a human does and fear the future and regret the past and all those things. That only exists in self-consciousness. And that's where, 99% of people live. And so the only salvation,
Is it that high? It's
I think I think it's at least 99% in terms of like who's really living from cosmic consciousness.
Yeah,
It's still very rare on our planet.
yeah.
And some of us are living in, one foot in each camp.
We're getting there.
Yeah, we're merging there. So it's not like you are or you're not. It's a spectrum of evolution.
Right.
But like who's truly living in cosmic consciousness? 99.9% of people aren't.
It's very, yeah.
But our planet will get to a place, maybe in 5,000 years or something, where 100% of people will live from that state of consciousness. That'll be the normal operating mode, right? But we're not there yet.
Right.
We're still in self-consciousness, or the third chakra, which is the ego chakra. So what I really am passionate about teaching, much like yourself, is how to teach people how to make that ascension from the third to the fourth energy center, to where your consciousness doesn't live here anymore, just in the ego mode, but you now live from this chakra, the heart chakra. And that is where you start to enter that cosmic consciousness, because the heart opens up the awareness of oneness, right? That's the unique aspect that the heart chakra allows consciousness to access. Before the heart chakra is activated, when humans are living from only the third center, we literally don't have the capacity to perceive that we're connected. We viscerally feel that we're separate. And so you're an enemy, you're a threat to me, I need to oppose you, defeat you. And that's where all suffering lives, right? So the only salvation is actually getting out of that chakra and ascending higher to the fourth energy center. And that's actually also, according to the Law of One, which is a text that I love and teach, that's also the kind of graduation point for the soul in this realm, meaning the universe is waiting to see when the soul reaches that green ray heart chakra level. Is this being living from their heart more than their ego? Then they're eligible to graduate to the next level of consciousness after this life. So you don't have to keep coming back here and repeating the same grade over and over again.
Yeah.
So there's a million reasons why it's important, but from a wider context, those are the reasons that matter the most to me.
I absolutely love all of this. Absolutely love all this. So grateful that you're here right now, because I think this is a conversation that humanity needs to hear. It's so interesting that you brought that up. I want to share really quickly a story about when my heart chakra opened, which I didn't even know was a thing, and how that relates and confirms everything that you're saying.
Epic.
We were in Costa Rica. We were at an ayahuasca retreat, and we're sitting down for dinner, a group of us. And I was talking back then about opening up an ayahuasca center. And I was going to take them to a piece of land to show it to them. And little by little in that dinner, they all started sharing their ideas. Well, it's gotta, make sure it's not on a hill because people aren't gonna like walking up the hill. Make sure that, it has organic food or whatever the case may be, right? And they all started sharing their ideas with me. And in that moment, I thought, oh my God, I get it. Like, I can't do this all by myself. And everything I've ever done in my life, I've done it all by myself because everyone has been my competitor. Like whether I want to admit that or not, like that's where I was living. And I was like, wow, that's wild. And I got it, right? I go home that very night, I lay down in bed and I just started to feel this. And I go like this because there was like this warmth in here, right? And I thought, wow, that's kind of weird. And it started really small, like a pebble. And then that warmth kind of started growing and it started reaching all across my entire chest. And my heart chakra is opening.
And this was a new sensation.
I had never felt this in my life, but the only reason why I was able to actually feel it, like physically feel it, was because I had experienced my root chakra opening. And I experienced that physical feeling. I just find it very, very interesting that it came right after I thought to myself, I get it, like I need their help, right? So I have a question for you. If somebody is listening to this, right, and they're listening and they're going, okay, this is making me sense, making sense. Maybe this is a little uncomfortable. Maybe I don't know a little bit about this, but for people living in that second energy, in the energy or the frequency of self, could you give me examples of what their life could look like right now that maybe could resonate with them?
Well, if you're living from self-consciousness, ego consciousness, third energy center, solar plexus, it's the classic, I'm obsessed with me and my story. I live from a place where the world, the universe feels like it revolves around me. Feels like I'm the most important person in the room when I walk in. Feels like everybody should care about my needs more than their own and this and that. And these are subtle things, right? They're not always at the forefront of someone's mind. But if you really get honest with yourself about how do I feel when I'm around others, when I walk into a room, in ego consciousness, there's a very visceral feeling of like, I'm the most important person in this room. And that's what produces suffering because every identity the mind creates, I'm this person, I'm attractive, I'm funny, I'm smart, whatever the identity is, it becomes this like bullseye target, right? That you have to constantly protect and defend because then anyone who might appear smarter than you or funnier than you or more attractive than you is
a threat
to you, right? And so you're going to feel insecure, nervous, upset, jealous. And that's just one of the ways that ego creates our suffering. And so there's this attachment aversion pattern, which is notorious of ego consciousness in that we talked about loving relationship. The only two relationships the ego can have with anything is attachment or resistance. It cannot have a balanced, loving relationship because the ego always needs something. It needs to get fulfillment or it needs to avoid pain.
I love that. I love that. How do people, right? So that we become aware, how do people that live in, that ego relationship and the need to how does that show up? Could you give me an example, like a real world example of that?
Of how it shows up?
Yeah.
Well, let's take romantic partnerships are always one of the best places to look at. Those tend to be the playground where ego shows up the most tangibly, right? And in a romantic relationship, are you familiar with A Course in Miracles?
It's something I have obviously heard of time and time again.
Yeah.
But I have never engaged. Yeah.
So the Course calls it the special relationship, which is the ego's version of love. And it means like, I need you to make me feel special. I'm with you because when I'm with you, I feel more special about myself. Because you're attractive, you're this, you're that. Nobody dates someone that they think isn't attractive, isn't successful, isn't this or that. You date someone you think the ego believes has desirable qualities, right, that are going to enhance you. And so I'm really only with you because you make me feel better about myself. You make me look better. I don't feel so alone with myself. But it's not like I'm really here because I genuinely love you as a being and want to serve you and bless you. It's really all about me secretly, right? And we know that because in the honeymoon phase, everything looks like it's going well. But the second she gets a text from an old guy friend, that ego comes out in full force and is going to crack the whip on her and become very unloving all of a sudden. And then things can expand from there into a nasty fighting and this and that. So that shows you that if hate is there in any way, true love was never there. It was just false love being masquerading, right, as real love. So that's like, you know, one of the classic ways we see ego show up is this possessiveness. And it's not just romantic relationships, but even friendships, ego will become possessive of. You know, we could go on a myriad of different things, but that'd be the most easy thing, I think, for us all to relate to, because we've all had a special relationship. I had tons of them, you know, before I came into this awareness. And so the question is, how do we move from a special possessive relationship to a loving relationship? And it's that journey from solar plexus to the heart.
I love that. As you're speaking, it's just resonating so much with me, and my relationship with Jen, you know, and some of the things that we have had to go through, even not only within ourselves, but in our own, in the relationship to live in that space, right?
Hey everyone, thank you for watching today's video. I hope that you were truly blessed by it. And I wanted to let you know that I'm really excited to now be partnering with an amazing conscious supplement company called Organifi. A lot of you know that I'm also passionate about holistic health and nutrition, and Organifi has been a staple in my daily health routine for a very long time. They make the most delicious, organic, and high-quality superfood products that I've ever come across. And as you know, a healthy body is a great benefit for spiritual growth, because the health of your body directly translates to the health of your mind. Everything is connected. So feeding your body with high vibrational superfoods straight from the earth is one of the best ways to create that environment for a healthy mind. But getting all the superfoods that your body needs in one day can admittedly be a little bit tough. And that is where Organifi can add a ton of value to your life. I personally start every day off with green, which is Organifi's really delicious blend of 11 superfoods like ashwagandha, chlorella, and moringa. And then in the middle of the day, I'll usually have a scoop of red, which is a delicious energy blend full of 13 adaptogens and antioxidants from berries to recharge your mind and body with a delicious blend of organic superfoods. Your body is an amazing organic machine, but it needs the right fuel and signals to function at its best. And red is full of adaptogens sourced from organic herbs and medicinal mushrooms. And these are compounds that balance hormones, prime your energy pathways, and alleviate stress. So instead of crushing your adrenal system with huge doses of caffeine every day, adaptogens work with your body and give you natural, sustained energy all throughout the day. What's most important to me though about Organifi is the way that they go above and beyond to ensure the cleanest and purest ingredients in all of their products. They are USDA certified organic, non-GMO, gluten-free, certified glyphosate-free, and absolutely zero fillers. So I never go anywhere without Organifi, and I never miss a day without taking it. And Organifi is offering a super generous discount of 20% off of your entire order when you use the coupon code Abke at checkout. So if you want to upgrade your health regimen with Organifi, you can click on the link in the description box below to learn more about all the amazing products that they offer. And I promise you that your mind and your body are going to thank you for it.